My name is a compromise. My dad wanted to call me Aimee, A-M-Y, but my last name is Zannoni. It's like super ethnic, so my parents came to a French compromise to go with an Italian last name. So yeah.
You have French parents, right?
I have French in my blood. Down the line, my mother's aunt, I think, was French.
What was that like? How did that affect you growing up and feeling whether you were?
Oh, no, not so much. I come from a very Italian American household. Like, we're very American, but we talk a lot, tell stories around the kitchen table. We eat a lot of Italian cookies, a lot of Italian food, and we're super close. So it's that kind of a vibe. It's cool. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, talking to you, it's just been like you're very warm, you're very like comfortable with yourself. It's interesting that you're a stunt coordinator.
Is it?
I guess that makes sense. But how long did it take for you to realize that's what you wanted to do?
I don't know that I ever stop asking myself what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I think it's always an evolving thing, which is really cool in the entertainment industry because you have that freedom to do that. So it's like once you're on enough sets, you kind of, I like this job, or that job seems really cool. Maybe I'll jump over here and try a little bit of this. So I know a lot of stunt coordinators that do second unit directing, and then they go on to direct major motion pictures as well, which is really, really cool. Some stunt people that are also actors, and so it's just a lot of fun.
How is that a transferable skill, or like how are those things related? Being a stunt coordinator versus a second unit director or a director.
Stunt coordinating, you're designing action, so you're filling in the blank of. Then there's a car chase, white space. You know what I mean? So you're creating a large part of the story through action, and then so it breaks down to all the different skills that are required for a director. You're giving people guidance, you're making sure everything makes sense, helping the cinematographer understand what you're trying to convey, and you work together to find the best angles and what's going to look impactful based on the action itself, and then what you can capture through the camera. And then also teaching it to actors, breaking it down, making sure the stunt people know all their beats and their choreography, and telling the story. So you're telling a very important, hopefully, if it's a really good action film or a really good drama, the action is telling a very important part of the story. It's like a climax, a pivotal point, somebody's character's tested, they're put through the paces, and so it's like a moment of rising to the occasion, or fight or flight, or whatever the situation is. And it can be some of the coolest moments in film, or the moment where the character has to fill in the blank. That's usually action. So yeah, it's a lot. So stunt coordinating is a lot. A lot of it is directing and standing out of the director's way at the same time. But I think it's a very natural thing for stunt coordinators to become second unit directors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For that reason. On action films too, there's so much going on. You have again, if it's a good action film, you do have noteworthy dialogue. So you do have dialogue that's important, and you also have action that is very important. So you usually have multiple crews filming at the same time at various locations. So if you were the actor, and I'm on stunt team, I might never see you because you might be filming your dialogue the entire movie, and then I'm filming your stunts the rest of the movie.
Sure.
It does happen that way from time to time.
Cool. You also do stunts though.
Yeah.
That's how you got started.
Yes. I mean, I hesitate to truly claim stunt coordinator. I feel like I could use another 5 years because it'd be an honor. It's kind of an honor to do this job. And I feel like there's so much to learn. And every job you learn something new. Like, what's the best way to cheat this? Or, how can we save somebody's body and still get the shot we want without putting them through too much? And then also, it's just a lot as far as like rigging and hydraulics, and you've got a lot of really cool tech gear that goes along with stunts the more complicated it gets, and I feel I have a lot of room for growth. A lot. So that's very cool.
You train and study a lot of stuff. You were talking about, you said different art or different skills that you train on.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that.
Like, heights or like falls, right? Or what was it?
Yeah, asking yourself if you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I asked you. You said you ask yourself sometimes, "What am I doing?
What am I doing?
What if something goes wrong?
What if something goes wrong?" Yeah.
And then I said, "How often do you answer no? Like, what portion of the time do you answer no to that question?
And I
like
think
in terms of whether you shouldn't be doing.
What am I
this.
doing? I think it just depends on the skill and the environment. You know, do I trust my stunt coordinator? And if I trust my stunt coordinator, do I trust that he or she is not under a certain amount of like pressure to just get the shot? You know, to come in under budget and screw that pad, we don't need it. You know, who's putting the pressure on, and are all bases covered? And so that usually goes really well, because honestly, stunt coordinators will always put their foot down if they're good and say, no, we're not going to do that like that. We're not going to do that today, or we're not going to do that under these circumstances. So that's their job, is to keep people safe. So I've been really, really lucky. I've worked with really great people that took very good care of me, and it's usually in practice when I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
What is this project like compared to other projects?
Other stunt jobs and stuff? Well, this is really neat because it's a student project. So one of the really cool things is you kind of get to like teach people what other people taught you, and you get to pass it on, which is really neat. And I like that opportunity. It's fun for me. So from the bigger lessons, and then even the smaller stuff, like, you know, how do you achieve this stunt? Like, what equipment do you need? And you know, things like that. And then also too, like, what's the pay breakdown? What do the contracts say? You know, what typically happens when a stunt person shows up on set? What typically happens when your stunt coordinator shows up on set? What do they ask for? What do they expect? And what do they expect for their stunt team or their actors to be taken care of? And so those conversations are really fun, because this is like the whole point of being a student, you know? And there's like very little ego, and everybody's just trying to get better at what they do. So it's a really nice environment. I like it.
That's cool. That's really cool. You're a different kind of teacher right now, just because of the standpoint of this is an experience. So you're teaching through this experience.
Teaching's fun. I like it. But I've been lucky too. I have really good teachers. So, yeah. So it's going pretty well here. Most of the stunts we have on set are minimal, and so it keeps it lighthearted and fun. We're not working with any stunt people. I'm playing a small role, so I'm doing one minor stunt, and then we have some actors that are being swallowed by a giant sack and tackled to the ground. So it's just basic pads and teaching the actors how to fall. I just took like an afternoon to teach basic falling techniques, so they can save their wrists and their elbows and make sure that their face and their head is protected, you know, and not hitting the concrete, you know, things like that.
What stunt are you doing?
I play a character who's tagging the building, and Tonton Macoute, who eats bad children, he's a boogeyman, doesn't like my behavior, so he decides he's going to sack me and eat me. So I get sacked and eaten. Yeah.
Have we filmed that yet?
No.
No?
We're supposed to film that tonight.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I was trying to find like a cool way to go to the ground, because I'm tagging the building like with spray paint, and he comes up behind me and like pulls me to the ground and puts me in the sack. So I was thinking of doing like, you know, how can I make it look like scary and impactful, but also realistic, not like too supernatural where it would just be like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and like, how can I make it interesting? So I was thinking of just doing a taco, like we call tacos, where, you know, if you're pulled to the ground, your feet come up and you land on your shoulder blades, you know, kind of do something like that. I just don't know. I'm like, we'll have to see where the camera angle is and what looks good. Because I think this stunt is actually done in the background of a scene. So depending on how many takes the actors or camera crew needs, you know, it may not be something I want to do 20 times.
Yes.
So especially on a learning environment, student film, where the budget is minimal, you know, you don't want to like ruin yourself for a small amount of pay.
Yeah.
And for just a learning experience if somebody's trying to get their feet wet. It's like, to be smart about it. Create something that's visually cool and safe, and you can do over and over and over again without regretting it the next day.
Cool.
So it should be really easy. So we call small jobs that like don't require a ton of stunts, where you're just kind of taking care of people. You know, just making sure that they're comfortable, that they're not laying on the ground too long. You know what I mean? That they're not kneeling on concrete for, you know, at all. Just little things like that. So it's more of for comfort that I'm here, and for the director's learning experience.
Well, Aimee, did you have any other questions for me? Or Aimee? Sorry, Aimee, I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, I like talking to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. So thanks so much.
It's really great having you.
Thank you.
Thanks.